Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And technically, like a few months ago or something, X-Men basically, I kind of commented on one of their videos, and they basically showed me their Crisis video, which I already saw their Crisis video on Spider-Man 4. So I'm here to actually talk about what Spider-Man 4 is, or what Spider-Man 4 would have came out of. Yeah, this is just before when I'm actually going to do some research on James Cameron Spider-Man. But anyways, here is what basically is going down. So, the crazy part is that Spider-Man 4 technically couldn't even exist. Why? Because they gave him a lousy time to actually shoot it. It was very, very messed up window. Everything would have to be rushed. Which chances are many people will actually say, yeah, the movie has been rushed. And many people can actually see that it's been rushed. So, yeah, that's kind of like the first thing on it. The second thing is just the fact of what he was planning on doing. What I've heard, like the pure virgin version of it, is the fact that he was hoping to have Black Cat and have the Vulture in it. What I've heard over the years is that someone made some weird idea that Black Cat will be a double role. The fact that she'll play as the Vultress and as Black Cat, or it'll be the Vultress and the Vulture and some kind of new thing going on. And also, I think because of X-Men, or it was maybe Seven Webheads, the fact that it was going to be a two-parter, which previously I actually heard that Alvin Sargent wanted to make Spider-Man 3 a two-parter. The fact that first you'll have him deal with the Sandman, and then in the second movie, they'll deal with Venom, which Avi Arad didn't want that. Avi Arad tried to push, and he did, and he got what came out of it. As for the Lizard, would the Lizard show up in Spider-Man 4? Oh, man, it's... I have no idea what they were going to do with the Lizard. I have no idea what was Sam Raimi's plan with the Lizard. He wanted to put it in Spider-Man 2, but he couldn't do it because, if he did it, it wouldn't give enough time for Otto Octavius' story and becoming Dr. Ock and all that. It wouldn't actually give him a proper span of the movie, so that's why he had to cut it out. As for what he was going to do with the Lizard eventually, we don't know. What he was going to do with Harry Osborn, I think chances are, if he got his way in Spider-Man 3, we most likely will have like some more hints. Maybe we'll have Harry. Let's see how Spider-Man 2 ends. Spider-Man 2 ends with, it ends with Mary Jane and Peter Parker in good standing. Now they know that Peter loves her and she loves him and all that. Then basically you have Harry, who found out. Chances are what will happen in Spider-Man 3, if it was Sam Raimi's version, is the fact that you'll have maybe Harry Osborn working on the technology. So he'll actually be working on the tech, maybe actually built that. Yeah, he will basically be working hard. It will just come to the point of Harry is mentioned, but we don't see Harry actually with Peter. Yeah, so Peter will have no idea where Harry is, while Harry's actually spending all day and all night in the mansion creating weapons and everything to get his revenge on Peter. I guess. I'm not sure. Because technically when he said, you have to avenge me, he said no. As soon as he found out that his dad was the Green Goblin, I don't know what really happened. I mean, chances are he would take his revenge. On the other hand, it could just be the fact of he is having a mental breakdown. He's kind of like out of it. He don't want to see anyone. He's just shut in his mansion trying to think things over, saying, my dad was Green Goblin. Yeah, he's going up and down in the chair thinking, saying, my dad is Green Goblin. And Peter was Spider-Man. And Peter killed my father. It would come to the point that chances are this would be the proper moment that, yeah, I mean, like, they have something in their pocket. Basically, like you saw from the Spider-Man 3 we got, chances are you'll have the butler come in and say, "Sir, I have to tell you something. The bruises from his body matches the glider that he had," and all that stuff. So they actually have a way out. Yeah, they have a way out of this. They could either A, use that, so that means that Harry would just get on with his life and he wouldn't even become the Green Goblin, and maybe marry Liz Allen and maybe become kids and stuff, and maybe actually patch things up with Peter Parker, and he won't even think of, hey, let's make Harry turn Green Goblin. No. What most likely could come out of it is maybe the fact that Harry cleans out everything in that whole entire room and throws it away. And as soon as he throws it away, guess who comes in and say, "Oh yes, Ben Kingsley," or somebody who was actually the Hobgoblin, and he takes his stuff, and basically he becomes the brand new Hobgoblin, and they could have fun with it. They could basically have fun just like what Spectacular Spider-Man did with the Green Goblin. The fact that you kind of suspect it was Harry, even though Harry has a family now and all stuff, but you think it's Harry, but it turns out it's not Harry at all. So they could actually have fun with that. Let's see. So as for if we got Spider-Man 3 the way he wanted it, he wanted, and I keep on repeating myself, but he wanted Sandman and he wanted Vulture. That's it. He did want Gwen Stacy in the movie, but I'd have no idea why exactly he wanted her in the movie. Maybe it was just nothing but an Easter egg, and that Easter egg blew up to something more because of freaking Laura Zinskin over there. I'm not going to say Ray, she rests in peace, because, well, look what you did to the movie. Well, anyways, the other thing is just the fact of, yeah, like I said before, is that they wanted a reboot, and instead of, what they wanted was, since Spider-Man 2 raised the bar really, really high, they would break a brand new reboot and actually have it their own way. They wanted to have it their own way so they can gloat saying, "You see that movie up there? All of the executives have something to do with that. The director directed it, of course, yeah, but we had mostly everything to deal with that." So that's what they're trying to do, is getting some bragging rights, which they did get in Amazing Spider-Man, kind of. But still. Yeah, so it's kind of like, if you wanted it and you really tried to make him leave, but you had no choice but to sabotage Spider-Man 3, that's kind of like stupid, because I rank Spider-Man 3 close to being what Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man was, or even lower than that. So you really, I think I would have rather preferred you actually just allowed Sam Raimi to do whatever he wanted. All the way to the point of where he killed all the villains and he has nothing else to do, so he's now going to leave. That's basically that's all I think. So as soon as he basically decides to leave, he basically will just leave, and then, well, there you go. I mean, that's all you had to do, is just allow him to finish everything that he wanted to do, and then he'll leave, and then you can start your reboot, and then there you go. Everyone's happy, even though, well, you'll be happy because you'll get more money, and Sam Raimi will be happy because he'll be able to actually continue to create. He loves Spider-Man, and, well, yeah, it's really, really good. Seriously, it's really good. So, for Spider-Man 4, is it a tragedy? Yes. Is it a tragedy because of Sam Raimi? No. Is it a tragedy because Sony actually made him have a time limit that kind of sucks, like what they gave Webb they gave all the time in the world, while for Sam Raimi, he only just had a few months to film, which will basically make it a rush film. So that is the real reason why it actually would be bad. Of course, everyone will throw the script at me and say, look at the script, and I'm like, Well, yeah, they want to sabotage it even more. So it's kind of like, yeah, the script is horrible because they want Sam Raimi out, and of course they did the smart thing because they kind of gang banged him, even though that's not even a good word to say, but gang banged him. The fact that they have him in a rock in a hard place. They made sure he had a messed up timing, and then they made sure he had a messed up script, so he had nowhere to actually move around and stuff. And because of that, he quit. Which that's what they wanted. They wanted him to quit. They wanted the whole cast to quit so they can start their reboot. And that's what happened. As for the end result that you have today of their reboot, well, congratulations. I mean, for the rest of us, we all technically, well, me personally, like I said many times in many videos, I technically would like Spider-Man 3 to be done his way and release it. I'll take this Spider-Man 3 I have and I'll burn it. I will really burn it. Maybe sell it too, but I will most likely just burn it. And then allow him to go from there. I mean, chances are he only will have the good shot of doing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 or Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I think at least allow him to do Spider-Man 3, do it his way, allow it to conclude his way, because he knows that he has to do 3 movies. So you allow it to end that way, so at least all of us can actually breathe and say, because technically that's what I wanted. When I first actually ran to the store in October 30th, 2007, yes, I actually ran to the store and picked up my copy and hoped the good Lord that it's different than what I saw in the movie theater. Sadly, it's not. Yeah, that was like a big wish that could not be granted. So anyways, yeah, that's about it. As for James Cameron, I'm going to use this as a prologue as well. Yeah, prologue before I start on this, so I can at least have down what I think on James Cameron's Spider-Man. So James Cameron, even though I can't count what happened in Avatar, but I would like to count it anyways. But anyways, James Cameron work, it's very good. I mean, you would figure that since he is a very good director and he has lots of creativity, that chances are this Spider-Man that he actually had in the works could most likely be good. But there's some many questions that I hope to get answered while I do this, so it can help figure out some kind of idea on if it would be good or not. The first question is, like, Sam Raimi, for instance, you know he's a very good Spider-Man fan. He is a Spider-Man fan. The question will be, is James Cameron a Spider-Man fan? If he's a Spider-Man fan, then we know it's in good hands. If he's not a Spider-Man fan, if he actually is only doing it just to show that, look at me, I know how to do artistic stuff. I know how to make masterpiece movies, even though I don't know the real content. That would be kind of, yeah, it's just like what happened with the Hulk. Yeah, it's just like what happened with the Hulk. It's exactly what happens with Green Lantern. Well, Green Lantern shouldn't be included in this, but yeah, many of the throwaway movies that lots of people are like, oh my gosh, it's a throwaway movie. We hate it. It's horrible. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically one question. Of course, the other thing that comes into play is just the fact of how badly is their hand in the whole franchise. Because if, like with Webb's franchise, if Sony's executives' hands are deep in the movie, then that means that it could be bad, because look what we see in Spider-Man 3, in Amazing Spider-Man, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they had their hands deep in the movie. Did it come out well? No, it didn't. So if it didn't come out well, then chances are that means that they put their hand in it. It could really go bad, which that's what they kind of wanted later on. But since this is the beginning version of Spider-Man, this would actually have been a beginning movie of Spider-Man, chances are he might actually get artistic freedom. He might have got it. He might have got it. But still, though, it kind of just brings to the question of, yeah, I mean, look at what they did recently. Look at Sony executives did recently. So that's another thing. It's just that. So, with that said, that's just another thing that is going to come to play here. Of course, I will, when it comes to looking for the script, I bet that's going to be hard as hell to find. Sadly, if the Sony freaking hackers knew what they really were doing and they knew that their Spider-Man stuff was their bread and butter, you would figure they'd find every single thing that they had in the database on Spider-Man and leak every single thing they had. Leak all the edited, deleted scenes of Shyla Woodley. Leak that freaking head. Chances are it wasn't even finished. But that Norman's head scene, they would have it out there. They would leak it. Straight up leak it out. You would figure they would do that. But that's all I have to say is just... So with that, all that said, that's basically what's going on. But I would think since he's a very good director, chances are he most likely, with the technology, which I think it was the Sky Cam or something, or Spidey Cam, it was something that Sam Raimi had to create to actually do many of the scenes. I think James Cameron would have done something similar to that, or even made the technology himself. So, for right now, I would say for James Cameron's Spider-Man, it's kind of a toss-up. I don't really know exactly what will go on. But I would say if James Cameron did a decent job for Titanic and for Avatar, chances are it most likely is a good movie to watch, or at least to behold. I mean, chances are, if anything, it'll be technically like Amazing Spider-Man 2 with all the action sequences, even though many people said it's like a video game. But still, the action sequences, when I look at those were very, very good. So I would think at least the action sequence is good, and as for the script, could be good, but on the other hand, it could just result in, oh boy. So anyways, that's just basically my opinion, and that's about it. So anyways, I'm just going to web out, so peace.